Funny enough, well, I'm gonna start actually with Taylor Swift since she was here last weekend. You've seen it because of your brother being on tour, but just kind of the reception and just how that was for the city and even for that tour. Like, I know you were out of town, but just
Yeah.
what was that like to see?
Yeah, I mean, I was out of town for the days that was she was performing, but obviously before we left, you still get to see kind of the reception and decorating the dome and all that stuff like that. So um, her tour in general just promotes like love, just inclusiveness and stuff like that, and I think that that was exhibited through how the city showed up for her and her fans show up for her in general. They are a very inclusive group. They no matter what you look like, any all walks of life, all backgrounds, you go into that show and then you are a Swifty, and so I think that that's kind of just you can see that throughout how, and even after it's funny they left, and we went to a defensive dinner downtown, and we were leaving out, and this girl and her parents just still handing out friendship bracelets. So I took a few of them, and Cam joked with us like, "Yeah, this is the biggest Taylor Swift fan of all." She didn't know who I was. I was like, I ain't even gonna tell her, but no, it was funny though. It was, and it's fun. It's all in love though.
Colin, with Carolina, they're a struggling offense, but you still have to do the work. What do you see guys being able to do well against them because they've been struggling all season?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think that with Bryce being back in, he was having his struggles earlier on, and that's kind of why they moved away from him. So if we can just kind of get back to, obviously, we would love to have a game like we did to open up the season, and but I think that trying to one, him being a little younger, obviously, than Andy, and two, just being a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter, we can kind of get in those lanes and obstruct his vision a little better than the taller quarterback. So I think that just kind of getting back to what we did in the first game is going to be a lot of how we will be successful, especially since they are preparing to play with Bryce as opposed to because we hadn't seen the other quarterbacks. So that would be good for us, and hopefully that's an advantage in our favor.
Is it concern with an offense like that that's been struggling that they're just going to throw out the kitchen sink at you?
Yes, absolutely. That's always something that you got to be you got to think about is that that you don't have anything to lose, and like you said, they can pull out anything at this point because there's a, I guess we can say, silver lining and not having a successful offense going on, and that's that you've tried a lot of things and you have unlimited grounds to try anything else, because if it's not working, then you have grounds to try something completely new, and that's the scary part about facing a offense that's struggling, because you never know, you can be the week that they find it. So we're all professionals, we all get paid for this game, and they're all professionals on that side as well in Carolina. Talented professionals, man, and obviously things go wrong, seasons don't go how we expect sometimes, but that doesn't take away from the fact that those guys are still athletes and still professionals. So we got to be, dialed into every key we got and make sure that we take care of business out there in Carolina.
You mentioned Bryce's struggles. Have you noticed, like, since his benching and he started last week, did you see any growth in that performance from him?
Yeah, there's growth in every week. There's growth in every week. Unfortunately, him having to sit out, that'll affect him a little bit. But even in the weeks of him sitting out, there's still growth. There's still growth. There's still practice reps. There's still people to learn from. There's still great receivers. I know he got some vet guys over there with Thielen and stuff like that. So I know that those guys help him grow. They help teach him. And even playing or not playing, same as Spencer. Like here, he might not be getting all the reps, but he is definitely learning every day in practice. He's getting to go against a good defense every day in practice. Same with Bryce. He's going against a professional, great defense every practice. So, those are things that you just got to learn how to kind of be a professional with, and kind of learn from your opportunities and whatever opportunities that may be, whether that be game reps or practice reps. And so there's definitely growth. He will continue to grow. He will continue to learn this game for speed, and then once he gets that down, I mean, he went to Alabama for a reason. So think that he'll figure it out.
Even aside from that, you just talked about him. You talked about the weapons that are over there as well. What is it like preparing for a team that's struggling like real bad over there?
Yeah, like I said, it's kind of that wounded dog type of talk you have. Like they're trying to figure it out. They're gonna give everything they can to figure it out. Like I said earlier, they are still professionals. They're still paid handsomely for what we get paid to do, and so that there's no doubt in my mind that. However, they are 1 and something. That means they got 1 win. So clearly, they can go out there and get a win, and we just don't want to be the second one. So that's where all of our efforts are to prevent that from happening.